Someone very profoundly once said, many years ago, that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
This is my mission for the last 3 years before running for president. This is what I did, okay, is fight this stuff. Their own money is invested in funds managed by these passive fund managers, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, that are using that capital to vote for policies and advocate for policies in corporate America's boardrooms that most Americans, including the owners of capital, do not agree with, and which do not advance their best financial interests.
And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
You say this is the most important election in decades, and that's a line we hear often during election season.
Maybe you have a little more insight. I can't figure out who the deep state is.
It is not one person. The model of there being one puppet master individually, saying that I'm pulling the strings, it's the wrong mental model.
And despite the deep state's repeatedly attempts to stop me, I stand before you as a duly elected member of the United States Congress and tell you that a deep state exists and is perhaps the strongest covert weapon the left has against the American people.
Nobody is driving this car. The motor's on and nobody's behind the wheel. You know, we just saw Mitch McConnell totally space out or have a stroke or whatever happened. I mean, then we saw, a day or two later, we saw Feinstein, didn't even read the notes. We've got Biden, who can't figure out how to put a sentence together.
Do we trust we the people to sort out our differences through free speech and open debate? And I think that elevates what this election, including this GOP primary, is all about. Do you stand on the side of incremental reform within those existing institutions, in which case you should probably go with somebody else? Or do you stand for revolution? We have 3 branches of government. It's actually pretty simple. It's enshrined in a readable document cover to cover. I do it from time to time. The US Constitution. Something that we've forgotten, maybe needs to be taught in high school. I personally think every high school student should have to pass the same civics test that an immigrant has to pass in order to become a citizen of this country.
I know you're also an avid 2A guy, correct? If we amend this and we make it term limits, doesn't that open it up to amend everything? Is it an entity of individuals that are all conspiring together, or is it totally decompartmentalized?
It's the nature of the beast itself is not comprised of one human being with an intention. It is the machine, the Leviathan itself, that goes beyond a human individual.
In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users.
Our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users.
Well, we the technocrats can't do it, but we'll have a meeting with you if you're a social media company. And we'll tell you that, hey, you know, the guy who used to work for me now worked in the private sector. That's the place I'm gonna work later on as well. So we already have a friendly peer-like relationship.
As we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
The AI itself now spots American flags that are on someone's profile. So if you're somebody who has an American flag in your social media profile, the algorithms are already trained to pay greater scrutiny to what you say.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking about this. And it's not a human being that made that judgment.
We're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual.
These are the kinds of people who need to actually be silenced and suppressed. It's a dirty little secret in Silicon Valley. It's a machine that we're up against. If we think it's individual, person-to-person combat, we found the bad guys, we walked into the globalist cabal, and here we got them.
Hinton has expressed concerns about AI's potential for replacing workers, and especially as a tool for spreading misinformation. Google praised Hinton for his contributions and said it remains committed to a responsible approach to AI.
Shawn, Vivek, we the people, as individuals, cannot be trusted. It has to be decided in the back of palace halls by the enlightened elite.
How are you going to find the right people to surround yourself with when you get in there? I mean, yeah, we know Trump had a hell of a time with that.
One thing I'm trying to do in this process is I'll just lift the curtain.
This is the most important election of our lifetime.
Look, this is the most important election, certainly in my lifetime.
I mean, what is even going on here? Is this just
They refuse to tell us. What we have today going on in the United States of America is a modern 1775 moment.